I was a gambling god. I had retired from the world and didn't care about the game. But my mother was set up. My opponent caught her and threatened me to come out to compete again. But I didn't expect that no matter what card I called or played, he seemed to know it all. And I thought it was just a mistake, but then I lost everything until I went bankrupt. Fans who always loved me threw stones and urine at me and insulted me on the platform. Damn gambling god, he just relied on luck to win all the time before, and he didn't have any card skills at all. That's right, it made us chase him so much before, it's really disgusting. My mother's legs were broken by his wife and thrown into the sea, and she divorced me overnight. I asked her sternly why she treated my mother like this, but she fell into my opponent's arms and prostituted herself. Of course, it was to help Xiao Han remove obstacles. Lei Xiaohan hugged her and forced me to watch them perform live pornographic pictures. In the end, I was thrown into the wolf pack by Lei Xiaohan, and my body was gone. This is how my last life started. Not only did I lose one game after another, I also lost the game of cards, and ended up with a ruined reputation and no trace of my body. When I opened my eyes again, I returned to the day when I made a bet with my opponent. The pain of being bitten by a wild wolf and the various stimulations of my wife lying under a man and selling pleasure made me die with my eyes wide open. Song Yin, Lei Xiaohan, I will not let you two go even if I become a ghost. I thought I was going to die, but I didn't expect that God would have eyes and let me come back to life. I looked at the cards in my hand and the noise in my ears. Looking at Song Yin sitting on Lei Xiaohan's lap, the two of them occasionally ignored everyone's sight and made some disgusting movements. I woke up suddenly and my hand hovering in the air was almost a touch away. I quickly pulled back the chips and the price. My breathing became heavier and my heartbeat accelerated involuntarily. My eyes fell on the surroundings and scanned back and forth. I saw the man and woman who hated me to the bone and saw the familiar environment, and then I reacted. I actually went back to the day when Lei Xiaohan set up a game and made a bet. As long as I put the chips out to follow the price, the misery of the previous life will be repeated. Chen Luo, An, are you going to follow or not? Maybe he doesn't dare to follow. After all, he has lost several games. TSK, this is the so-called gambling god. It's a joke. He is so vulnerable against the Thunder God. He was able to win before, could it be that he was a cheater? All kinds of accusations and ridicules fell into my ears, making me subconsciously clench my fists. Song Yin opened her legs slightly, and one of Lei Xiaohan's hands wandered deep in her legs. Everyone present knew that she was my wife, but she cheated on me. It seems that Qin Luofan's era has been replaced by the Thunder God, and even his own woman has gone to the arms of his opponent. Lei Xiaohan kissed Song Yin. Everyone wait until I win this game, I will kiss everyone to go drink. Long live the Thunder God. The game instantly boiled. Lei Xiaohan looked at me, and his eyes mocking me were stained with provocation. Chen Luofan, what's wrong? Are you afraid of losing? But you have no way out because... He snapped his fingers arrogantly, and someone brought my mother up. If you win, you can take my mother away. If you lose, I will cut off one of her hands. It doesn't matter. If you lose this bet, there is still the second half tomorrow. Lei Xiaohan likes to play with people's hearts the most. He will not let you die so easily. He wants to break your nerves bit by bit, making you feel more painful, tormented, and terrified. I have learned these methods in my previous life. Luofan, please save me, I don't want my hand to be chopped off. My mother was frightened and cried when she was taken away. Songyin, why did you do this? I really want to know what she did to me and why Lei Xiaohan knows my cards so well. I must find out. What can I do? It's just that you are not as skilled as others. The man who can get me must be a superior, but you are no longer one. I have to find a way for myself. As soon as she finished speaking, Lei Xiaohan hugged her and bit her ear. Baby, I will make you feel like heaven tonight. Then he looked at me and said, okay, continue. Qin Luofan, follow me if you dare. I glanced at the cards in my hand. He must know my cards. So I won't follow him. I leaned back and looked around. I was afraid that the obstacle behind me was equipped with a camera, and the glasses Lei Xiaohan wore were related to the camera. If Songying didn't do anything to me, then this is the only explanation. I have a condition.
I want to clear all obstacles behind me. I said I can guarantee that there will be no obstacles behind me, such as cameras.
When I said this, Lei Xiaohan's face froze and everyone thought I made sense. You have watched too many Hong Kong dramas. Whatever, I just want to clear it. Okay, I'll do as you say. In order to shut everyone up, Lei Xiaohan discussed with the staff of the game and removed the obstacles behind me. Chen Luofan, can we start? I nodded, indicating that the dealer could deal the cards. This time I changed the game to stud poker. Lei Xiaohan agreed, as if he was determined to win no matter what game I changed. The dealer started dealing cards. I had a 7 and a J with the J as a hidden card. Lei Xiaohan had a 3 with an unknown hidden card. I had the highest bet, so I was the one to bid. 1 million. I pushed the chips out and Lei Xiaohan smiled, saying, "Baby, do me a favor and push the chips." "We have to follow." Song Yin smiled and sat up, pushing the chips out. The dealer continued dealing cards. I had an 8 and Lei Xiaohan had a 3. Wow! It looked like Lei Shan had won this round again. 3 million. Song Yin raised the price for Lei Xiaohan in her arms, thinking I wouldn't follow. Follow. I pushed the chips out. Without the camera behind me, I wouldn't believe that Lei Xiaohan could beat me. He's really not afraid of death, and thought he was still the gambling god he once was. But if he loses a few more times, he'll lose everything. I ignored all the contempt and just focused on playing to the end. The dealer continued dealing cards. I had a 9 and Lei Xiaohan had an A. Lei Shan is still the biggest, really suppressing Chen Luofan. 5 million. Chen Luofan, do you still dare to follow? Lei Xiaohan let Song Yin leave his lap, smiling calmly. Follow. I raised my eyes coldly and looked at Lei Xiaohan coldly, turning the ring on my finger. The card game is all about the human heart. Yo. He is still following to the end. He really won't cry until he sees the coffin. He has no choice. If he doesn't follow, his mother will be chopped off if he loses. Lei Xiaohan lit a cigarette, exhaled, and signaled the dealer to enter the last round. This time my card is 10, and Lei Xiaohan's is 3. The scene suddenly became tense, and even the air became very hurried. Everyone stared at us with wide eyes, waiting for us to show our cards. You have the biggest hand, and you have the say. Lei Xiaohan still sat on the chair indifferently and hooked Song Yin back onto his lap again.
Baby, have you ever smoked? Yes. Lei Xiaohan smiled and handed the cigarette to Song Yin, who started to smoke.
I don't know what they whispered to each other, but Song Yin's face turned red instantly. I pushed all the chips out with my backhand and asked if I would follow or not. And sign this, by the way. Song Yin threw a divorce agreement in front of me. Chen Luofan, set me free. I am not someone an idiot like you can have. Song Yin, you are really cheap to the core. Since my son married you and brought you home, he has provided you with good food and drink and treated you like a baby.
But you seduced a wild man to come back and harm him. You are shameless. Facing her mother's sharp scolding, Song Yin rushed over and slapped her in the face, followed by another punch.
I stood up, but Lei Xiaohan's men blocked my way. Song Yin, stop it. Let my mother go, and we will get a divorce. I will do as you wish. I turned back to the table and Lei Xiaohan threw the pen in my face.
I picked up the pen and signed without saying a word. Are you so sure you will win? Song Yin, don't regret it then.
After all, I have a trump card in my hand which can kill Lei Xiaohan's 3 threes in a second. TSK, the only one who will regret it is you. Well, in that case, come back crying later, and I will definitely chase the dog away. Mom, wait a little longer, I will definitely rescue you. I sat down and looked at Lei Xiaohan coldly. You open your cards first. In order to let my mother come back quickly, I turned over my bottom card.
Mine is J, a straight flush, which can kill you, Lei Xiaohan. After the bottom card was turned over, time was quiet for a few seconds, but the next second, everyone burst into laughter.
Damn, I laughed to death. It's obviously K, but he insisted on saying it was J. Damn, he didn't lose his brain, did he? It's possible. Song Yin walked up to her mother, picked up the dagger and put it on her face, and gestured arrogantly.
Old woman, what should I do? Your son Chen Luo and lost. According to the bet, your hand will be chopped off.
I'm scared, don't chop my hand. Son, save me. I stared at the cards I had turned over with wide eyes. How could this happen? It was clearly a J. Why did it become a K? I felt unbelievable and couldn't understand such a weird thing. Some cold sweat broke out behind me and the previous account was broken. Fans looked at me with disappointment.
Could it be that, after living a new life, I still couldn't escape the tragedy of the previous life?
Chen Luofan, you lost, and you wanted to make a straight flush with AK. You really made everyone laugh. Ah, I heard my mother's painful pleading voice. I turned my head in fear and saw that her hand was cut off. Song Yin picked up the severed hand and threw it at my feet, saying, "Don't look at me so fiercely. Now, I'll give it all back to you." I clenched my hands tightly and was so angry that I was shaking all over. But they stopped me and didn't let me go over to take my mother away. Chen Luofan, if you want to save her, remember to be on time tomorrow. If you lose again, it won't be a hand, but a corpse. Lei Xiaohun hugged Song Yin and left the game arrogantly. Everyone gave way to them and called him the god of gamblers. As for me, I was hit hard by fans with stones and rotten eggs, and left the game in a mess. Walking on the street, all the screens were playing the interview about the birth of a new generation of the god of gamblers. Lei Xiaohan accepted the interview in a decent manner. When talking about me, he said disdainfully that maybe he had won the honor by cheating in the past. I didn't stay any longer. I was lost and wandered around like a wild soul without a home. I don't know if I can win tomorrow because it's too weird. Thinking of this, I was at a loss. Disappointment is like an invisible hand, pinching my neck fiercely and making me breathless. What should I do? It's really desperate. Unconsciously, I came to the temple. Only by listening to the Buddha scriptures can I calm my messy heart. At this time, the host opened his eyes and stared at me deeply. I stayed in the Buddhist temple for a day and a night and didn't leave until the next day. On the way to the gambling house, Lei Xiao Han also called me. As soon as I answered the call, I heard Song Yin's panting. "Chim Luofan, remember to be on time. Your wife tastes pretty good, and she is so sexy in bed." I ended the call and laughed cruelly. "Lei Xiaohan, Song Yin, this time I will make you pay a heavy price." When I arrived at the casino, they were already there, and only I was missing. "Chin Luof, and do you still have money to gamble?" Someone threw a few copper coins at me, called me a beggar, and asked me to bark like a dog for them. I always treated them coldly and ignored them. "Oh, you are so poor, and you still dare to put on a bad face. I am afraid you don't even have a few copper coins." I walked over, pulled out a chair, and sat down. Picking up the last money, Lei Xiaohan sneered, "That's all. How could it be?" "And my life." I put the gun on the table. "Damn, it's so exciting." "Are you playing with people's lives?"
Be quiet, and watch the final peak showdown. Chin Luofan, you are dead.
Lei Xiaohan asked Song Yin to get up and sit next to him. Okay, this is exactly what I want. Being able to kick me off the altar is his nightmare of his whole life. Then, let's start. Wait, for the sake of fairness, I found someone to come over. Shang Wansheng, the richest man in Beijing, owed the host a favor, so he promised the host to help me.
Lest Lei Xiaohan lose and refuse to pay. With Shangguan Sheng's support, the arrogant and noisy voices have disappeared.
Then please start. The dealer began to deal the cards. My open card was Q, and I didn't look at my bottom card. Lei Xiaohan's open card was 10. 2 million. I bid and pushed the chips back him. Seeing that I was calm, Lei Xiaohan narrowed his eyes and looked at me for a while. Then he pushed the chips and bid. The dealer continued to deal the cards, and everyone watched quietly and excitedly. This time my card was 4 and Lei Xiaohan's was K. 3 million. Follow. The third time the cards were dealt, my card was 5 and Lei Xiaohan's was J. His cards were straight flush, and anyone who saw my cards would shake their heads in disappointment. Saha, Chumluofan, and even the heavens won't help you. Lei Xiaohan pushed all his chips up.
If you lose, you will lose everything and die. What do you think? Follow me. Suddenly, someone brought my mother up, and he returned my mother. Anyway, my life is already in the game, and he has achieved his goal. Don't say that I am unkind, but your mother has been returned to you. Do you still have the guts to follow me to the end?
I pushed all my chips up and followed me. I heard someone laughing and humiliating me, so what? The dealer dealt the last card, mine was the ace of hearts, and Lei Xiaohan's was the ace of spades. You have no chips left, you really have to gamble your life. Bet to the end. Is he crazy? Follow me to the end with such a hand. Maybe his whole card is AQ. TSK, he was defeated last time, and he's doing it again. Judging from the look of Thor, his whole card is also AQ. Lei Xiaohan looked at me and arrogantly danced his own dance steps, looking down at me with the attitude of the final winner. I have the biggest card, so I will open it first. Mine is Q. Chenluo fan, you are done, haha. The bottom card was flipped up with a snap. Everyone stared at the card, their eyes slowly widened. 5. Is this playing abstraction? Everyone looked at each other, trying to find the answer from each other's eyes. Why are you looking at me? I don't know either. Songyin stood up from the chair suddenly, her face as pale as paper. She walked to Lei Xiaohan, who was still dancing complacently, and reached out to hold him. Stop dancing, that card is not cute. Baby, what are you talking about? I'm not talking nonsense, that card is really not cute. Songyin gritted her teeth unwillingly and stared at me fiercely. Lei Xiaohan quickly stopped dancing and turned back to the table, but the card he saw was the 9 of diamonds, and his face suddenly sank. How is this possible? It is obviously. Snap. Clap. 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 Clapped 3 times in a row and left the chair with a smile. Lei Xiaohan, how could you make the same mistake I made before? How could you read the cards wrong? I took out a cigarette, put it in my mouth, lit it and took a puff. When the smoke came out, the mist lingered between Lei Xiaohan and me. Lei Xiaohan stared at me intently. Chen Luo-fan, even if mine is not AQ, it is bigger than yours. TSK, don't think you can beat me, dream on. Husband, let's not be angry. Don't bother with this kind of garbage. Songyin, before you call me garbage, please use your brain. After all, you are a second-hand garbage that I have used, and he, Lei Xiaohan, is also picking up the broken shoes that I don't want. Lei Xiaohan's face was extremely ugly, and he angrily shook off Song Yin's hand. Song Yin's heart skipped a beat. Lei Xiaohan always thought that he would compete with me. What he couldn't stand the most was that others laughed at him for picking up garbage. Chen Luo-fan, shut the fuck up, I was young and ignorant at that time, so I followed you, a disgusting garbage. She couldn't say the word garbage at the end. Stop playing tricks and show your cards.
That's what I meant. I stood there and boasted for a long time. My mother came over and looked at me worriedly.
Son, I'm scared. But I'm more afraid of losing you. For a mother, that would cost her her life.
Don't worry, Mom won't let you die. I'll take on everything for you and die. Lei Xiaohan has lost his patience and urged me to show my cards quickly.
Everyone held their breath and stretched their necks to watch my hand reaching for the cards. Lei Xiaohan, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Mine is Q. Lei Xiaohan, you don't have a straight flush this time, and my double Q killed you instantly.
TSK, you said it yourself. You want to gamble your life with me? Lei Xiaohan pushed Song Yin away fiercely, raised his hand, and pointed at my cards tremblingly.
How is this possible? Your cards are not Q at all, mine are. Chen Luo-fan, you used tricks to exchange cards with me, didn't you? Everyone looked at Lei Xiaohan as an idiot for his roar. Does he know what he is talking about? He was talking like a fool. We were all watching intently. How could Chen Luo-fan use any tricks? Lei Xiaohan heard everyone's doubts about him, so he calmed down. He turned to look at Song Yin and asked her with a puzzled look, what's going on? Song Yin said that she had done what she should do, and she didn't know about the change. I saw all the little movements of the two. Are you trying to say that I was clearly cast a witchcraft spell on me, but why was I not under control and not confused to use the wrong cards? Right? My words were like a bomb which stunned everyone present, and they didn't understand what I was saying. Lei Xiaohan and Song Yin looked at me at the same time, their faces slightly pale. I don't know what you are talking about. What witchcraft spell? Since he doesn't want to admit it, then force him to show his fox tail. What a pity! The goo has been taken out by the master for me, and I will treat him in his own way. The other party cast a witchcraft spell on me, so I will fight back. Lei Xiaohan's face became paler and paler, shaking uncontrollably. Chen Luo-fan, you mean that someone cast a crooked spell on you, so he knows your card skills very well, and the other party knows everything about you, isn't that right? Smart. I praised the person who spoke with a smile. The whole audience was noisy again, thinking that I was just talking nonsense. To prove myself, I picked up a card and threw it into Lei Xiaohan's hand. Tell everyone what your card is. Song Yin was about to speak, but Lei Xiaohan stared at her coldly, so she swallowed her words. This is the red square 7. As soon as the words fell, the noisy scene was quiet for a few seconds. Song Yin quickly grabbed him and winked at him to tell him that this was AJ. But it was too late, everyone laughed at Lei Xiaohan. What the hell is this Lei Xiaohan doing? He mistook the J for the red square 7. Is everything Chen Luo-fan said true? Lei Xiaohan was so angry that he threw the card back to me, his face full of anger. Chen Luo-fan, you dare to play with me. How can it be that I play with you?
You played this game first, and I'm just tit for tat.
I was really desperate that day. It was the master who told me that I was under a witchcraft. I asked him what witchcraft was, and the master explained. Only when your relatives take your birth date and draw it on a talisman, give it to the person who casts the curse, light a fire to burn the talisman, dissolve it in water, and then give it to you to drink, you will be poisoned. This poison can also confuse people's minds and disturb their minds. The other party knows your thoughts very well. I read out everything the master said, and it was difficult for Lei Xiao Han not to admit it. The person who took my birth date and made me drink the cursed water was Song Yin, this damn bitch. No wonder I keep losing. Now it's not just Lei Xiao Han who is trembling with fear, but also Song Yin. 7. Lei Xiao Han actually relied on despicable means to win against Chen Luofan. He is so insidious and vicious. Damn, I just admired him, but it turned out that he was a villain. Chen Luofan is really miserable. He was almost killed by his ex-wife. I have seen mean people, but this is the first time I have seen someone as mean as Song Yin. All kinds of unpleasant words fell into Song Yin's ears, making her shocked and scared. The secret of the two people harming others has been exposed, and they will become the object of contempt and curse of the world. Lei Xiaohan, you lose. According to the previous bet, you have to hand over your life. Now that his secret has been exposed, I will turn the topic back. Lei Xiaohan was already frightened and stood behind Song Yin all the time, no longer arrogant and domineering as before. My mother's hand was cut off by him, and there is no way I will let him go. Picking up the gun on the table and throwing it at his feet, Lei Xiaohan shuddered. Lei Xiaohan, do you do it yourself or I will do it. The atmosphere was instantly suppressed. This was a life and death farewell. Everyone just watched and didn't speak, but there were still people whispering, in my place I would kill that insidious villain. He seduced someone's wife and instigated her to poison people, and used dirty means to ascend to the title of God of Gamblers. And cut off someone's mother's hand. That's right, kill him, kill him. After hearing these words that wanted to kill them, Lei Xiaohan and Song Yin finally knelt down and begged for mercy. Luofan, I was wrong, please don't kill me. It was him, Lei Xiaohan, who seduced me everywhere. I could have imagined it at the beginning. Seeing that I was unmoved and stood there coldly, Song Yin crawled over and stretched out her hand to hold me and acted coquettishly to me with the same tricks she used to coax men before. Fall to the mortal world. Get out, it's so dirty. I shook off her hand with disgust and threw Song Yin to the feet of a man. Oh, she looks pretty good. TSK with this figure and face, it would be a pity if there is no man to nourish it, otherwise you follow me, and I will spoil you every day and night. The man was in his 50s, with a row of old yellow teeth and a filthy smile, looking at Song Yin. Song Yin was frightened and kicked him. Get out, don't touch me. Xiaohan, save me quickly. Lei Xiaohan couldn't save himself. How could he save her? Everyone urged Lei Xiaohan to be a man, so he should commit suicide with a gun according to the previous bet. Lei Xiaohan picked up the gun, but his hands were shaking all the time. No, I won't commit suicide. Luofan, you want to frame me without any evidence. There is no such thing as witchcraft. Suddenly, someone started to speak for him, and Lei Xiaohan was proud for a moment. It was not until Sheng Wansheng's men came up with a master who was about 60 years old that Lei Xiaohan's face finally panicked. In order to make him die with conviction, I asked the master to explain everything. Lei Xiaohan was still struggling to death until the master used witchcraft on him. Everyone knew that witchcraft really existed in this world. Sheng Wansheng helped me because he hated Zhang Hui's magic the most. It is not glorious to make money by insidious means. Lei Xiaohan, what else do you have to say this time? Lei Xiaohan was surrounded by the crowd and punched and kicked. Damn, fortunately this technique was not used on me, otherwise I would have gone bankrupt. That insidious master must be destroyed. If he spreads this technique, it will be terrible. Sheng Wansheng would naturally not let the master go. In front of Lei Xiaohan, he chopped off the master's hand. Song Yin and Lei Xiaohan were so scared that they seemed to have only 6 souls left. Let's put it this way, in order to give you two a chance to live, this gun has only 1 bullet. Choose one of you to die for the other. Suddenly, Song Yin and Lei Xiaohan grabbed the gun as quickly as possible. The gun was grabbed by Song Yin. She stood up with it in her hand and pointed the gun at Lei Xiaohan. Luofan, if I kill him, will you forgive me? I didn't say anything but sat calmly on the chair watching them fight. Yin, don't mess around, don't you love me very much? Fuck you, who would love a waste like you?
I sneered, and Lei Xiaohan broke out in a cold sweat. I originally wanted to cut off your hands and feet and cripple you, but the gun was taken away by Song Yin.
She was so cute that she would really take your life. As soon as the words fell, Lei Xiaohan rushed over to grab the gun, but Song Yin's shooting skills were not good. In the chaos, the gun was fired at Lei Xiaohan's vitals. He groaned in pain, and the men present subconsciously clamped their legs.
Yes, you are really good at fighting. Song Ying, don't let me live or I will fucking kill you.
You guessed it right, I want you to live like a useless person. Let you two live together. Song Yin's hand holding the gun was so scared that she almost couldn't hold it. A murderous look glared at me and immediately pointed the gun at me.
Unfortunately, the gun didn't have a second bullet. Song Ying quickly dropped the gun and crawled over, hugging my thigh. Husband, I know I was wrong, let me go, okay. I will listen to you obediently in the future, give birth to children for you, and our family of 3 will live a good life.
The mother came over, raised her hand, and slapped her in the face. You bitch, you still have the face to ask us to forgive you. Have you forgotten how you treated me? The mother raised her severed hand and slapped her again in anger. Give up this idea.
Aren't you a bitch? Do you want a man to feel pain? There are many old men here, all waiting to love you.
Mother looked at the men around her and smiled with relief. Lei Xiaohan was eventually beaten to death by Shangguan Chong's men and thrown out of the gambling game. I won back everything I lost and took my mother away from the game. After returning home, I washed myself with grapefruit leaf water and lay down on the bed to rest.
A few days later, a reporter wanted to interview me, but I refused. If it weren't for my mother being framed, I would never have entered the underworld again.
I don't want to be involved in anything related to gambling anymore, I just want to live a quiet life. However, things didn't go as I wished. I just returned home that day and found the house in a mess, as if it had been robbed. And my mother was nowhere to be found. I was about to call the police, but I received a call from Lei Xiaohan. Jim Luofan, if you want to save your mother, don't call the police. She is in my hand. At that moment, I suddenly opened my eyes wide and held the phone tightly. Lei Xiaohan was not dead. He faked his death and escaped to come back to seek revenge on me. I went to the address he gave me. As soon as I got to the foot of the mountain, his men blinded me and searched me. After that, I was taken up the mountain. When I arrived at the destination, I saw my mother tied up with ropes and hung 7 meters in the air. There was a pile of rocks below. If the ropes were untied and she fell down, my mother would surely die. Chen Luofan, you really have the guts to come here alone to seek death. I didn't say anything. I pursed my lips and looked at my mother who was hanging in the air. She didn't cry but begged me to leave quickly.
Fanner, don't agree to his unreasonable request for your mother. I'm old and won't live long, but you are still young. I clenched my fist tightly and listened. My eyes were extremely bloodshot. Lei Xiaohan has become more and more perverted since he was crippled by Song Yin.
Suddenly, Song Yin's cry was heard and the door of another room was opened. Song Yin was locked inside in tattered clothes. There were several ugly men surrounding her and doing unspeakable things. Chen Luo, and save me quickly. You are such a joke, Chen Luo, and can't even save himself. How can he save you? If he can, he will save his mother first. Lei Xiaohan clapped his hands and laughed as evilly as an ancient eunuch. Tell me. What do you want? I'll get straight to the point. There's nothing else to talk about with this kind of yin and yang monster. I just like to deal with smart people. As soon as he finished speaking, he picked up a pistol and fired at me. I quickly jumped to avoid it and hid behind a big barrel. I've become like this, what else can I do? Of course, I will destroy you. Haha, interesting, you keep hiding. I like to torture people slowly and let them die in fear. Bang! When the bullets swept over, I quickly jumped to hide somewhere else. Hiding like this is not a solution, I have to find a way to break through. Suddenly, they use my mother as a target. Okay, the cat and mouse game ends here. Come out and beat your little brother for me. No, Fanner, don't come out.
Damn woman, shut up. Don't shoot. I still stood out.
Lei Xiaohan, the yin-yang demon, smiled and covered his mouth and danced. He pointed a pistol at me, sorry. At the critical moment, I took out a card and jumped up, throwing it at Lei Xiaohan. The card was thrown into his hand, and the pistol naturally slipped out. I quickly threw the card and flew out to resist the people around me. I rushed over and kicked Lei Xiaohan away to prevent him from getting the pistol. When his people rushed over, I easily solved it. Suddenly, Lei Xiaohan walked to the rope pillar that tied his mother. Chen Luofan, I want you to see your mother die with your own eyes. Before he finished speaking, Song Yin stabbed him in the heart with a knife from behind. He looked down at the bloody tip of the knife, and Song Yin pulled out the knife and stabbed him a second time and a third time. Lei Xiaohuan, I really fucking killed you. Go to hell. Suddenly, many police broke through the door and shot at Song Yin. In the end, both of them fell to the ground and fell asleep forever. I quickly walked to the pillar, untied the rope, and slowly let my mother down. My mother cried and hugged me, her body still trembling slightly. Feiner, you have to disappear from the game in the future. Becoming a gambling god is naturally glorious, but it is too dangerous. I don't want to live in fear every day. Okay, let's leave here. I took a look at the two dead people and finally helped my mother to leave with the police. After recording the statement at the police station, we left the city. Find a place where no one knows us and start a new life.